Trevor Eder.
Hello, how's it going?
Great. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, thanks for being here. Um, so you are police officer by day, and what would you
Day
say?
slash night,
Day,
mostly.
yeah, I was just
End up mostly at nights, but
so I forget.
that's all
Yes,
right.
yes. How long you been doing that?
Be coming up on 8 years,
Eight.
8 years. I forget 2017. So 8 years, 8 years.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you've seen quite the time in the law enforcement, the attitude and the
Yeah.
culture in the last. I mean, it's been the last 5, 6 years. It's really
Yeah.
changed.
Yeah. I went to college back in 2012 through 14, and when I got out, it was so hard to get a job. So I did like 2 or 3 years of corrections, and I was applying. I don't know. It was a couple hundred for every position, and now we're lucky if we get like 20,
Isn't
20
that
applicants
wild?
for a position. Yeah.
That's wild. Everyone wanted to be a cop because of
The pension and the retirement.
well, and
Yeah.
I think I mean,
Yeah,
not,
the-
you don't do
yes.
it for you don't
Yeah.
you don't do it for pride,
Yeah.
but I think people sign up for it because there is I mean, like you're
For sure.
taking care of people, you're helping your community, you're serving, and I think there's a pride to serving, but if you do it in a humble pride,
Yeah.
you know what I don't know,
Yeah.
but
For
that
sure.
and now you're like you'll take anybody almost, not I mean not anybody, but
Yeah. Yeah. It's
yeah.
just the climate's changed. Usually it's like a pendulum. It should
Yeah,
come back.
it will.
But
it has to.
yeah, it's just some weird times out there.
So cop by mostly night, a little bit during the day. Husband, father of three.
Yep.
Three
Three
young
rambunctious
boys. Yeah.
I got Hudson, who's 5, Cohen, who's 3, and then Parker, who's 1. So
You are busy.
We're
So you don't
busy.
sleep. You don't believe in sleep.
yeah, it's sleeps. Luckily, maybe it's because of good healthy choices, but when it is time to sleep, I fall asleep pretty good, which is nice because, yeah, insomnia and sleep is tough for cops to come by because you're constantly, sometimes like, yeah, if I work nights, getting home at 2 a.m., I sleep until 8 or 9 or so, and then flip my schedule when I'm days off with my kids and I'm up at 6 a.m. You have to be because they're alarm clocks. So
Yeah.
yeah, fortunately, I sleep all right, but a lot of people do struggle with it for sure.
I would imagine. Well, and then what you're dealing with, depending on what you're dealing with, you
Yeah.
could be coming down a little rambunctious, a little ran up, and
Yeah.
so it's even harder then. I appreciate what you do.
Yeah, of course.
That takes a special person. So
Yeah.
you and everyone else appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate the sport.
100%. And then what I want to get at, and I'm excited to talk about with you because I don't know the story. You, how do we say it? Liaisoned or kind of started or helped create
Yep.
I don't even know if home church is the right word, but a church at your home property, let's say. And maybe I shouldn't use property. I'm not going to say like you have a big estate, but
Yeah.
you on your where you reside, you have a church.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's been incredible. It's been a cool journey. It's something, trust me, I never would have thought. I mean, common theme in my life is any position I have, like I just feel super unqualified or inadequate for, and I think I'll always feel like that or whatnot, but it's just cool how it's happened, and God has used certain groups of people and misfits, whatever you want to call us or whatnot. But yeah, it's been fun, and I'm excited for what's in store, and yeah, I'm excited to talk about it.
isn't it you say how you feel totally unqualified
Yeah.
and kind of have that imposter syndrome. Maybe that's probably the psychological word for it.
Yeah.
And I can relate so much. And I'm sure there's plenty of others that relate to that. And I'm always like, I don't deserve this, right?
Yeah.
Like I didn't do anything good enough for that. I've done plenty bad.
Yeah.
And now why do I get this opportunity? Or why is this going okay for me? Or why, and I think God picks people who maybe they don't feel qualified. I think people that aren't not that there's not great examples of people that are very successful and they don't have great beliefs and they're not doing great work for God. But I think there's a lot of people that would in the climate or in the social realm of the world be the low people, right?
Yeah.
Or like just kind of falling through the cracks and we're just kind of the people grinding per
Yeah.
se. And God uses everyone in such weird in his plan. And I think if you acknowledge that, you start to see that.
Yeah.
And that sounds like kind of where you were and you're still seeing it and God's just got a plan for you.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a common theme with people in the Bible It's just God uses people that are willing to do stuff, right? Like he just wants people that are going to take a step and, try to follow him the best they can, as many have and as I have and will. We've fallen on our face or whatnot, but if we just keep trying to fill ourselves up with more of Jesus and following him, I think he'll lead us the right way.
Absolutely. So where do we start? Where do we start with Trevor? What's I mean, excuse me, always been around the area your whole life, kind of the central Minnesota.
Yeah, so I grew up, I would say mostly from things I can remember and whatnot is Buffalo, Minnesota.
Okay.
So 10, 15 minutes here from now. And where I work now is Buffalo. So that's kind of part of my story is working in my hometown. But yeah, so second grade on, lived in Buffalo. Family, 3 other kids. So I got a little brother and an older sister. And then my mom and dad, they've been married, still are married. Grew up in pretty much mostly the same house in Buffalo. My whole life, I've just been I like adrenaline, I like a little dopamine, and I like to do things a little different. Give my parents a little run for their money when growing up and stuff.
Did you grow up in a house did you guys go to church? I mean, was that kind of a regular thing? So would you say you grew up in a church household?
Yeah, I grew up in a church household. My mom is a Christian, kind of a prayer warrior, just super loving, super forgiving. And my dad grew up Catholic, kind of the more old school, the discipline and things should work the way they work because that's how it should go, just how the old school Catholics were raised up.
Okay.
So, I always say I would have called myself a Christian growing up if I knew what that meant at the time. Not really, but sounds good, and it made me sound like I was going to go to heaven afterwards. So I would have thrown that term around. Went to confirmation at local churches and was confirmed and whatnot. But I'd say, up in high school, that's when I really kind of started to struggle with my identity, and I would not say it lined up with being a Christian or being a follower of Jesus. So
okay.
But my whole childhood, like I just love sports, like basketball. Is my thing. I just loved it. Consumed me. I was always pretty decent at it, given my lack of athletic ability, but I just found different ways to do it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 2000s, early 2000s, mid 2000s Timberwolves basketball was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, Kevin Garnett.
Yeah,
he was awesome.
Those were the days. I mean, we're starting to figure it out again now, but
yes, we are fun to watch again.
We'll see. So, as a kid, you were probably, and I can relate a lot to that. But I was every Sunday, if there was the service or something was like, and if you'd like to pray this prayer with me, you can ask God into your heart. And I was every time I was doing that, I'm like, God, in case you didn't hear me last week, I'm doing it again.
Yeah.
And I was kind of like you said, I was a Christian, but you're also a kid. You're not really thinking about your own mortality. And you're kind of, especially as I grew up in high school, the fear of death or heaven, hell is kind of just it feels so far out. Right.
Yeah.
And thank God that I've survived certain things that I have and I gotten an opportunity to actually come to my faith. But I think the way I used it was kind of just like a fail safe in my head. I have that relationship with God. And I don't know. Is that kind of similar? Cause I kind of get that vibe. Maybe I was a little more extreme.
Yeah.
But and then so sports, did that take over? That was the main staple. Would you say that almost got in the way of God, or just was it more maybe lateral? Just, hey, this is what you did, that you loved sports, but you were still making it to church. You're still doing the confirmation thing. You're still doing that, or would you start to slip a little?
Yeah, if I'm being honest, I didn't even know what it meant to be a Christian, other than
you just go to church,
the prayer to give your life to Him sometime, which was a huge part of my testimony when I decided to give my life to Christ, but actually decided to follow Him. But I just thought you give your life to Christ and then you're going to heaven. I just didn't know what it meant to follow Him. I had you see all these different people that say they're Christians, but then you see things and you're like, well, they just do normal things. I don't know what that means to me. So
am I Christian enough?
Yeah. So I just kind of struggled with what it actually means to follow Him. So yeah, I don't know. Just talking about basketball, I think it kept me out of a lot of trouble. But then, you prolong up to, or fast forward into like high school years and basketball, my dad and my parents knew how much I loved basketball and how much I wanted to be good at it and play varsity and all this stuff. And as I got to high school, that's when just things started to take over and other sin and things, and I just didn't know what to do with it, and it affected a lot of things. I just kind of kept spiraling and spiraling.
You kind of drifted away from your love of basketball. You still loved it,
Yeah.
but you weren't as committed.
Yeah, I just didn't know. I just I got, I think probably, let's say ninth grade or so. That's kind of when I got, looped into like a party scene, and started drinking and messing around with marijuana and weed. And once I was exposed to that and girls and stuff, like basketball just kind of became like a back burner.
Yeah, at that point you figured I'm good at basketball, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just what I've been doing my whole life. It'll always be there. I'm okay, but you're not really actually practicing it.
Yeah.
Putting your time into it anymore.
Yeah, and teenagers, I don't know, it's just tough because you have so many different things you're trying to balance, like school, which I was never very good at school. Like I just kind of was there. And then sports, which my whole life was my big thing until I started to dabble in these other things and experience those. And it's kind of like, how do I balance that? And then in my off times and weekends, I'm trying to go out there and do what I think is cool or things that appeal
Keep up
to
with the
me
crowd.
or whatnot. And then it's just a lot to balance.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah.
years for teenagers, for sure.
I think what kids go, and it's not getting any easier, I don't think. And not to say like we have it harder than anyone else or anything like that, or kids now, but hoofda. I look back and I mean, kids now, it's just, I mean, the social media and just how fast life is kind of like telling you have to move. You don't get a chance to think about a decision. Like it's just, you're either sink or swim, you're either in or you're out. And if you're out, you might be out. Like just like not included ever again, miss out on whatever it is. So it's, I just, I pray and these kids now, it's just like there's.
Yeah. I have
Hoofda.
I have a big heart for being a police now and being in my hometown just for that age of kids and teenagers, and I just want to try to make myself available for them. But
as a resource.
Yeah.
That's great.
So, yeah, I mean,
so you get through high school, didn't become a professional basketball player, just missed it.
No.
Still stayed. I mean, were you doing sports outside of high school? Did you play any collegiate stuff or what? So what did after high school look like for you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so still like in high school, like I said, school was never my thing. I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. I was kind of, I was sly, I was sneaking around doing things. Me and my dad were like oil and water. Like we didn't mix. Like he was just always, you don't do this and this is why, you have basketball, and just kind of like more of the punishment side of things, like the just side of things. And my personality, like when I get opposed, like I just kind of
stick your chest out a little bit.
Back.
Yeah.
So yeah, we just kind of had some rough years of fighting and not getting along. And I got super, I don't know. I just didn't listen to anything he said in high school. So, looking back, I probably had two best friends in high school. We were pretty close, and we were all basketball players. And one of them was a homeschooled through his whole life and a strong Christian, like lived the life and his family. And when I met them, that was kind of when I first realized that like they live differently than what I pictured Christians do. Like my home life was, get home, play video games. My dad or somebody would get home and it'd be TV. Like didn't spend a ton of time together, right?
Yeah.
And then when I'd go over there, they were playing card games and doing everything together. And they had this farm property that had like a pole shed with a basketball court in it. So it was awesome for boys, and they were farmers. So we'd go over there and we'd just go run around and do things and stay out of trouble and not even think about that stuff. And they would slowly, work in Bible studies and just being around that. I was like, this is different, right? Like they call themselves Christians and it feels different here. Like they spend time together. Like, I don't know what it is. I couldn't put my hand on it. So, him and his family just played a huge part in my life as teenagers. And so us three, super close, me and my other best friend, weren't going down, the Christian path. Like that's when we were partying and doing things and making wrong choices and trying to balance it all. And
so was the homeschooled kid also friends with your other friend?
Yeah. So
okay.
Like
so you're kind of
three were just like we used to call ourselves mahogany. We had a term for us.
Ooh.
Like we'd be the three amigos. We'd do everything together.
Yeah.
So it was me and him kind of doing like the sinful things, like the partying and the drinking, and then the other friend, we'd go hang out with them on Fridays and be like, wow, we don't even want to party. Like, why?
Did he know? Did the other friend know? I mean,
Yeah.
he wasn't naive. He knew you guys were
Yeah.
still a little rough around the edges.
Yep. But they still loved us and they cared
Wow.
about us. So
really them emulating, you had this understanding or this belief of like, okay, I think I know what a Christian is, but I don't really know if how I'm living is exactly how it should be. It doesn't feel like it is, but you weren't really maybe self-aware yet.
Yeah.
But then when you met him, you're like, this is different.
I just knew it was different.
This feels real. This feels like these guys are actually emulating and like living a Christian lifestyle.
Yeah.
But yet they weren't how do I want to say it? They weren't beating you over the head with the Bible. They weren't like, they were there more in a loving, hey, resource. They want to talk to you when you want to talk or whatever. And they were exposing you to, like you said, being around a small group or Bible study or whatever. But it was all kind of on your terms. You were just seeing it, but it wasn't very forced. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, they just walked it and they just showed us what it looks like. And at the time, again, at that time I would call myself Christian, but I don't think I was living it until later on in life. So now looking back, like I'm just so thankful that they showed me those examples. But yeah, so just going through high school still. During high school, that's when I got a pretty serious girlfriend. I mean, girlfriends came and go when younger, but I would say what you consider serious, right? So we dated probably 3-4 years. And again, like we were just super sly and just thought we were untouchable, me and my friend and stuff. And so we kind of just were able to manipulate parents to allow us to have like sleepovers and stuff as a high school teenager. And, I don't think it's to them just completely not thinking we're doing bad things, but I just think it was because we were sly and just figuring out ways to do it, right? So we were kind of sneaking around, boyfriend, girlfriend, and doing things that we shouldn't have been doing at that age. And obviously that messes with you as a teenager when you're starting to be sexually active and doing things. And so that kind of took away from basketball also because I'm just consumed in this life, this sinful life of partying and hanging out with my girlfriend and doing those stuff. And yeah, I was just a mess. So I think it was I can't remember what year it was. I think it was my sophomore year. That's when I started to party more, and then rumors started to get out that I was at parties and drinking. And that's when I got suspended for the first time in basketball. So I got suspended for 2 weeks from being at a party.
Oh wow!
And so,
how'd you take that? I mean,
it was
as a 10th grader would.
It was fine.
Middle finger up and woe was me. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah.
Or did you kind of take it humbly and go, dang it, okay,
I feel like
messed
I've
up.
always taken it like I want to be in that position where if I do something, I own it.
Okay.
Even before I was, knew Christ, like I had that same kind of attitude towards it. So, I owned it. I talked in front of the team, told them what the rumors were, and then I was suspended for 2 weeks and took it that way. But then it goes back to my dad, who's old school and knows how much I love basketball, and he's just mad. And it just didn't, like I said, I just didn't take the parenting and just got more upset and we would go at it, and it just kept spiraling and getting worse and worse. And, the idea that I just was untouchable just kept getting bigger and bigger. So
yeah, you'd own the consequence, take the suspension.
But at home, I wouldn't.
Okay. So on the outside, at school to your teammates, you were kind of being, honestly, taking the high road a little bit. I mean, you at least visually.
Yeah.
But then at home, you and your dad, like you said, you had a little bit of not abrasive, but just kind of a competitive, I think, father-son relationship at that age where one's trying to become a man and the other's trying to keep one from becoming a man too quickly.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yep. So then high school kept going, and then it kind of became my senior year, which basketball, again, like I didn't excel. It's not like I played varsity 9th, 10th, 11th grade. Like it came senior year, and then I thought I'd be better than what I was doing. It just wasn't panning out. And then my senior year, that's kind of when my big year to play varsity and do stuff. And then same thing, I'm just caught up in the wrong crowd and doing things. And I found myself kind of picking on this kid that was a little different than everybody, like getting the attention during classrooms and just kind of bothering me. And I just started picking at him. And honestly, I'd call it bullying, looking back, reflecting, like bullying on him. And got to the point where he stood up for himself and then turned into a fight. And I got suspended again my senior year.
From basketball or from school or the whole thing?
From basketball, a little bit
Okay.
of school, but yeah, mostly basketball. So just all these choices of partying and doing things and being consumed by the wrong things. And like, it's just messing with my character, because I always knew like I had good character and wanted
You
to
felt
do
like
good
you had
things,
good morale.
but
Good.
it couldn't come through because I was just consumed and didn't know left from right or what right from wrong. So
Were you still plugged into church pretty regularly then, or not really? At this point, kind of
No.
had drifted out a little bit.
yeah, I don't even know how often I went or we went as a family. Maybe like more like convenient holiday type
Okay.
thing.
And was it because sports got in the way, or activity, or just life and high school choices and things were just kind of
Yeah.
consuming you, and you?
Yeah, I would say life choices and even family stuff, and something we'll talk about where we're at now is like church. Like I just feel like our culture nowadays, it's like it's more out of convenience, you know. So just like when church was convenience, when we're not tired or don't want to sleep in, we would go
Yeah.
and whatnot. So
Oh, it's Sunday. I want to sleep in, and
Yeah.
I don't want to go to church at 8 or 9. That's too early,
yeah,
especially when you're in high school.
yeah. So I mean, high school again, like it just didn't go the way I thought it would. Like, I just didn't take advantage of things and just kind of floated through and made poor choices. Me and my dad's relationship was bad. And then one thing I do remember in high school that really has, stuck with me, and the reason why I am where I'm at now is like I've had people in my life that played such pivotal roles and taught me how to be a leader and stuff. And like the things they said was just great for kids. Like kids should just follow that type of teaching, that leadership and whatnot. But then when I found out like they were some certain people, leaders in my life, would say these things, I found some things in the personal life that didn't reflect that at all.
So they weren't actually. They were on face value,
Yeah.
saying it the right way, but not. They were talking the talk, not walking the walk.
Yeah.
Not like your friend at the time who
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, he's saying the right things, doing the right things.
Yeah.
Something interesting here."
Yeah. Which I like, you think of schools, like just it's a lot of political, and you can't be just going out there like I do as police work and telling people my dirty stuff, because you got to save your image in school systems and whatnot, like to an extent, right?
Yeah. Yep.
So then, this guy I followed and just thought so highly of, and I found this stuff out. I just couldn't fathom, like how am I being taught these valuable lessons where I need to stand up in front of my team and own these mistakes I've made and partying and whatnot, but then nobody can know this stuff about you guys as adults. Like that doesn't make sense to me. Like you guys struggle with things, and I don't think it's good to just hide that from us, because when I do find out, I'm like, now I'm just spiraling and like,
Yeah. It
you
doesn't.
say these one things, but it didn't make
It's
sense.
confusing as a kid, especially at that age, because you're like, well, if you're telling me this, but then Friday night you're out till 2 at the bar doing whatever,
Yeah.
but you're telling me I'm a terrible kid or I need to change my act. It's like, well, you're doing the same thing I'm doing,
Yeah.
So it's hard to respect. Yeah, okay.
So that incident just kind of really messed with me, and I was like, yeah, I didn't know what to do with it, because I'm like, played a big part in my life, said all the great things, but didn't live it. So I'm like, I don't know. I'm just struggling with that, wrestling with that, and what do I do with that? So that's pretty much high school. Pretty much dated the same girl. We were pretty serious throughout it. Sports didn't go anywhere. I didn't have much going for me in school. Didn't know what to do next.
Yep.
My dad just kind of was at a point where he's like, well, what do you do? I was like, I don't think I could do an office job or anything like that, because I just can't sit still. And I always want to be doing something. I like the adrenaline. So it's pretty much either military, or it was his dream job to actually be a cop.
Okay.
So something he always wanted to do. I'm like, well, it's either military or sure, I don't want to try being a cop. So somebody that's, out partying, doing all these things and not doing the right things, I'm like, why not? So I think I kind of decided to be a police officer, give it a shot. And that's when I went to Alexandria for 2 years, Alex Tech.
Okay. What was that like? So when you made that decision to go to school to be a cop, was it kind of to like prove your dad, hey, I can do that? Like, or not really. It was just kind of an idea.
Yeah.
It was military or cop were kind of your two things. Because I I was the kid, high school, ninth grade, I think I had a Marines lanyard. 10th grade, I
Sure.
had the Army lanyard. Junior year, I had an Air Force lanyard. I was like, oh, I think I'm going to join the military. But then like it got closer and I'm like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then so I joined the Army National Guard my senior year.
Sure.
Because it was kind of one of those things like, I don't know, I like sports, not that great at school, not making great choices. Military seems like, okay, you get the GI Bill and I don't know, be all you can be, see the world, some of that stuff.
Yeah.
So I joined that kind of with the same mindset as you. And it's funny because my grandpa was a retired captain in the Army. And my dad, he always said he regretted never like enlisting and never joining the military. And so it's, like you said, your dad wanted to be a cop. I'm like, well, and I don't think, and me and my dad, we had our time where we were probably, I would say the same thing, like water oil or whatever you want to say, and I don't know. I had that. It wasn't in spite of him, but it was kind of like, I don't know. I wanted to still make him proud because at the time, you're a young kid.
Mm-hmm.
You want to make your dad. That's kind of who you, right? As a guy, like your dad's kind of like you want to be him or be better than him.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I did it.
Yeah.
But were you similar, or was it more like, no, I want to be a cop, and it's cool, Dad, that you wanted to be a cop, but I'm not necessarily doing this because this was your idea. Did you give him any credit?
Yeah, I mean, I would give him credit. I mean, college, I think I started to mature a little bit. High school, like I said, I didn't understand any of it, so I don't even know if I would have given him credit. It was just like at the point where I just don't know what to do after high school, right? So
okay.
just
you were at a fork in the road.
Yeah, military or
cop.
do this, because at least that, like being a cop, I could relate to. Like I think I could do some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's not sitting at a desk; it's going to do stuff. It's exciting. So I was like,
serving your community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Trevor, can I jump in quick?
Yeah, for sure.
Adam.
I want to hear more about your friend and the barn and the basketball.
Yeah.
Like how that friendship cultivated your faith.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, I mean, in high school, like I said, I haven't really given my life to Christ or anything like that, so I didn't know what it all meant. But this family, they had I want to think of how many boys they had. I want to say 5 boys and 1 girl.
And they homeschooled all of them?
I think they homeschooled them to an extent.
And then but towards the end, they're like, I'm burnt out. This is too much. Go to school.
I don't think they all went to public school at the same time. I think they're all different. But from what I've learned is they kind of homeschooled them, tried to build them up in their faith. And once that kid, since they're all different, decided like, hey, I'm ready for public school. Like I can't be at home anymore.
Yeah.
They'd be okay with it.
Wow.
So my friend Caleb, he came into public school at 8th grade. That's when we were exposed to him. And just us 3, me, Ryan, and Caleb, just hit it off from the get-go. And we'd go over there. My friend Ryan was more of like the FFA farmer student, so he kind of fit in a little bit with their farming. They'd still invite me over there to help out and detassel and stuff like that, but
the fun stuff.
I wasn't great at anything. I just go there and just be silly dudes. But they always just had an open house for us. Like we could go over there, and every Friday night, Saturday night in high school, we'd be over there and we'd have massive dodgeball games, volleyball games. At one point, they live on the Crow River, and we had a tarp going down the Crow River, and then like a big fire hose, like a massive slip and slide. So we'd go do that. We'd go float down the river, like just all these opportunities to just get our energy out,
just be active kids.
Yeah. But not once was I bringing alcohol there or bringing girls there.
Just wasn't the place.
I mean, girls were there, but they had great boundaries. Like they had a hot tub, and the guys, if we were there, we could be in there, but girls can't go in there with us. And it's like we didn't question
how it was,
because they were great for us. They're
the ones that let you do it all.
Yeah.
Like, well, hey, we're not gonna.
Yeah, it was just such a fun space, and just them to use that to have a bunch of kids come over, and again, not always preaching to us. They opened up Bible studies that we took advantage of and did with them, but just to show us like what a Christian loving family can look like that dynamic. And I'm just forever grateful for those opportunities, and kind of ties into the testimony and where we're at now and whatnot. But
yeah, and I definitely want to get there for sure.
Yeah.
So but in high school, so basically you had this almost spot where God was present. You could kind of see what Christianity looked like and felt like to what you thought it should be.
Yeah.
But you still kind of had the other stuff, all the other distractions pulling you around. And so it's kind of just almost twofold. You were like, oh, we could go here and
Yeah.
have fun and it'd be pretty PG, or we had the other side and you were kind of dipping both ways.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you went to college, did you still stay in touch? I mean,
Yeah, I mean, he went to a Bible college, Emmaus, out in Iowa. So he was
Okay.
kind of further away.
the opposite direction.
Yeah.
You went north, he went south.
Whereas me and my other best friend, Ryan went to North Dakota State. So we were a little closer to Alexandria, North Dakota.
Yeah.
But me and him, we were the kind of the ones that we've been best friends since second grade and
Yeah.
just doing crazy stuff together and always getting into trouble. But what's funny about the experience is, like, I remember when we started doing Bible studies, like, obviously God was tugging on us and using this family to speak with us, because my buddy Ryan, we were out going to these parties, and I remember one time, I just remember clear as day, he pulled me aside or whatever. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like, I want to commit to this. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
Dude, come on.
we always do this.
Yeah.
So he was really taking it serious.
Wow.
And I don't know. It was weird because I'm like, oh, I'm losing my party buddy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that stuck out with me. And then also I think of my high school girlfriend.
But it didn't, and this was just it didn't really stick per se, but it was maybe God
Planting some stuff.
Yeah,
for sure.
planting a seed or just kind of like working on Ryan.
Yeah.
And then kind of throwing something at you, and you just deflected a little bit and kind of kept going. But now looking back, you see how he was trying to reach you.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
And I remember too, like, another part of it just slowly working at me, but just not knowing what it really meant. Like, it just not coming full circle of what it meant to follow Jesus. But I remember talking to my high school girlfriend at the time, like, hey, we're doing this Bible study stuff. And I was like, I think we should commit to not being sexually active anymore and save ourselves. Again, I said that, and we talked about that without knowing how to get fully follow Jesus or anything like that. So it sounded great. As you can imagine, someone that's not doing life with Jesus, it didn't last, right? Like, we fell right back into it, and it didn't mean anything, but the ideas were there, right?
Okay, and that was actually your idea.
Yeah.
So there's definitely, like,
yeah.
you had a lot going on.
It started in high school.
You had a lot of internal stuff going on.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I've always had this calling to be like a leader, or follow my good character, but I just over consumed by the other stuff and the partying and what that led to, and being cool and whatnot. So
Got to pay the price of fame.
yeah. Yeah. So
college in Alex.
Yep, decided to go there. You think you go there and things would clean up, but
Oh yeah, college. Yeah, things
Yeah.
are. But you are going to be a cop, so
know.
yeah, right.
And it's more of a military type college. Like, we had uniforms.
Yeah,
we were there
that's
every
what
day.
I've heard. Yeah.
We have inspections on Wednesday mornings, and so I thought maybe I'd be a little more guarded, but
Not quite.
not quite. Nope. It's
Okay.
the same environment.
Still a lot of young. I mean, the term adult. I think you get
Yeah.
called that. 18, 19. I don't know if I think I might have just earned the term adult. I'm still
Yeah.
working on it some days.
Yeah.
But young adults in a college setting, difficult still.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. Yeah. So I go there. Me and my dad's relationship's probably so a little better. I'm still making poor choices. Something about maybe it's part of why I'm a cop, because now I get to go fast and not get as much trouble, because
So you had a little bit of a lead
I've
foot
always
too.
had a lead foot.
Okay.
So I had a ton of speeding tickets as I started school, and my dad used to tell me stories, or I knew stories at least, of when he was younger and he had a motorcycle and he'd get his license taken. So then when I started doing it, he was just so amazed. Like, you're going to be a cop, and I'm like, but you did it. Like, it's just how it happens. It's par for the course.
Yeah.
Right? So again, it was one of those experiences, reflecting back, where somebody's telling me one thing, but actions were different when what I knew.
Was that
they
your
did.
thing, motorcycle too, or was it?
No, I never got on a motorcycle.
Maybe. Thank God.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
would be good.
Yeah.
That would be bad if I started going
Okay.
on that. So, yeah, I get to college. I still have the same high school girlfriend, so we're probably talking 2-3 years now dating.
Wow. Did she go school too nearby?
Winona. She went to Winona.
Oh, okay. So, yep. Quite a
So-
ways from Alex.
Yeah, so I had all these connections. I'd go to Winona, I'd go to North Dakota State, party up there. But also, I didn't have to. You think for a tech school, I thought, like I said, I thought it'd be guarded. There's tons of parties there, and Alexandria is a super like lake
Oh, it's beautiful.
cabins, and whatnot.
Gorgeous area. Yeah.
So think about that. A bunch of
Yeah.
college kids have
Access
cabins
to
to
lakes
ourselves
everywhere.
and lakes, and just throwing parties on cabins. I'm like, yeah, it got to be a lot. So I kind of started to find my identity as like, hey, I'm a cop, but it's kind of funny now that when I go out and party and be this funny guy doing dumb things, like, hey guys, I'm also a cop, like, use that to my advantage to be even funnier. It's like
Everyone's like, oh, I'm
humorous.
partying with a cop. This
Yeah.
is cool.
So I kept living that up, and it just kept growing and growing, and it kept doing that stuff. School, I was just kind of passing by. But it got to the point where I was partying, and this is something that, I was at a party, and I was still dating the same girl, and just found myself in a bad situation with another female. Ended up, cheating on my girlfriend of 2-3 years, so I thought I was going to marry. And I, my character, like I said, I always thought I had a good character, I had a good conscience. I was somehow able to keep that from her for like months and just live on or whatever, until it got to a point where I had to tell her, and I just, obviously just crushed myself. I was just depressed. I was throwing up at night. I just didn't think I could do it anymore. My parents that's when they were pretty supportive and just trying to help me get through it, but I didn't know if I could finish. I just couldn't believe I could do that to someone, right?
Yeah.
So, so now I'm at a point in college where I've cheated on my girlfriend. I'm about to lose my license because I got too many speeding tickets. I just didn't have a lot going for me.
Wow.
Just kind of a mess. Didn't know what to do. So I'd love to say from there, that's when it turned and I started doing good things, but it's not.
Okay. Okay.
I was kind of down and out for a little bit, but then I just continued to.
Was there any like reach back out to Caleb or like God grab or anything really, or you just kind of so low that you were more?
Yeah, nothing sticks out to me.
Yeah, you were just kind of low and didn't, each day was a struggle in its own way, but still on the sideline.
Yeah, I would say I was just low and didn't know what to do, and the only thing that would make me feel better was going out at night and getting drunk and partying with
Kind of just getting numb.
that kind of crew, because it's like a band.
You fit in and you felt, yeah.
Until the next day, then everybody's gone and you're by yourself and you're living with that guilt and depression again. But then what do? You just do it again, right? You just try to fill yourself back up with that dopamine or adrenaline to take away the pain. So I just dug into that more. Just got more and more into that. I think, as things kept evolving, went to more parties. Then I met another girl down at St. Thomas. I started partying down there at the U of M, St. Thomas. And this girl, started dating, and I really liked her too. And she actually ended up breaking up with me, which was really hard for me and my ego.
Yeah.
So that, I didn't know how to deal with that really. But this is when things started it got worse again, but then
So you crushed yourself, didn't know how you could do it, and then now you had to go through another spin where now you got crushed by someone else.
Yep. And then this led me to really see, I think, what I was capable of and how I could use people and hurt people, and which ultimately led me to change my life and follow Jesus. But so after she did that, I went and I knew I was pretty close with her friend group. So her best friend was kind of my best friend at college too. So I kind of worked my way into that friend group, and to like get back at her and get even with her, I went and did stuff with her two best friends. Just to try and I don't know, hurt her or whatever it is, whatever reason I did that for. And after I did that, she knew about all that, and then we still ended up going to parties and still found ourselves getting together and doing stuff. And that's when my mind, I was so far just mixed up with it. I'm like, this is gross. This is not right.
Yeah.
Like the fact that I could just use
I don't
two
know who I am.
people to hurt them, and then even then, like, come back and still be able to do stuff with that person that I hurt so bad. I'm like, this lifestyle is not for me. Like, I can just do some nasty stuff and people allow it and are okay with it because of stories. And I was like, man, I don't know. Just the realization that I was capable of doing that kind of stuff to someone just hurt me.
So
at
that's
that point.
almost what
I would say that was mostly the breaking point.
that moment. You're like, okay, I've taken this to the end.
Yeah.
I've been at bottoms, but now I am like just utterly disappointed in myself. You had just an internal. And on the outside, so were you a cop now, or are you still at school?
Still at school.
Okay, so you're still at school.
Still
Okay,
year
Yep.
one,
Year
going
okay.
into year two of college. So there, yeah, I'm just at the lowest point. I'm just feeling bad. I'm just knowing that like this life, and you think about too, like my friend group. I'm still friends with some of them, still talk with them, but thinking back to like high school, college, like what those girls did and I did to her, like I probably would have done that to any one of my best friends' guys. Like if they had a girlfriend or something that we were at a party, I probably easily could have betrayed them and done that for the story or whatever. And just those ideas and things sticking with me. I'm like, God, I don't even know what these friendships are. Like they're all based on parties,
Getting drunk, going to a party.
What we can do and what cool we can do.
Yeah.
And I think it all just started to reflect on me and weigh on me. So that leads me to a ministry that was at in Alexandria called Cru, Campus Crusades for Christ.
Okay. Yep.
Have you ever heard of that?
Yep.
So there was a leader out there, Andrew Peabody, who talked to me a couple times and invited me to there. Maybe I went once or twice, but like I said, it didn't mean anything to me.
Mm-hmm.
Until after all this had happened, he invited me again, and I went to the conference, and there was a speaker there. And her name was Deb Weaver, and she was like just a motherly figure, just loving. And she was just, I was in the back row, my sweatshirt up, just kind of hanging out there. And she was speaking just about how we can just, people call themselves Christian, but just could be like dead spiritually and stuff like that. And for whatever reason, it just clicked. Like, I call myself Christian, but I'm so dead. Like, I'm just depressed. The only thing that makes me feel good is if I'm around 20, 30 people drinking, doing dumb stuff. So it just, I don't know. It just spoke right to my heart, just pierced my heart that night. So afterwards, she spoke, and she just like, it was like a seeking missile. Like she just came to me and just saw me and just sought after me and just talked to me and was like, have you ever like given your life to Jesus Christ? I'm like, yeah, I think in like high school, but I didn't know what it meant or whatnot. And so she asked me to pray, and I did. And I was just a mess. I was just crying that night. I felt so good. I felt so relieved when I gave my life to Jesus. Then I called my mom. I called my dad. My dad didn't totally know what it meant at the time.
Yeah, maybe didn't want to believe you yet, or kind of.
My mom knew fully, like,
okay,
that meant, like, this is his moment. So it was just cool, just a moment of me coming back to Christ, coming back to my family,
running home.
Yeah,
prodigal son returns.
It was amazing. And then from there on, the leader, Andrew Peabody, he just took his time to disciple me, teach me some things. And I think from that moment, I wasn't 21 yet, but I stopped drinking. I just knew I couldn't handle it for a while. So I'd stopped drinking for a while, kept going to school. Just started. That's when my journey
almost
started.
A light switch.
Yeah, it was immediate. It was like a 180.
Wow.
I didn't have those desires. And it was kind of risky because I still found myself going to those parties and hanging out with the same crew, but they all knew what had happened.
Yeah.
I had no desire to drink. Like I was just there, and I don't think...
How boring did that get for you?
I don't know. It was fun because I just, like, people were
I suppose they were questioning you, though, or asking questions. Stuff.
So many.
Curiosity.
There were so many fun questions. And some cool support for some people, and it was just awesome. I don't know. It was a cool moment in my life.
Did any of those other friends or anyone else that you were like partying with, did they like explore faith with you a little bit, or not at that time? You were so
fresh,
new and fresh. You didn't really know how to help. Yeah. You were just learning on fire yourself.
Yeah, we had a lot of great conversations. My one friend who still, is in the party scene, we would just have good banter, and it was respectful and whatnot, and get called like Bible humper, which is funny because like I barely even read the Bible at that time.
Yeah.
Like I just all of a sudden I knew what it meant to follow Jesus Christ. Like it was like it just opened up and made clear to me. But I did have one really good friend who was struggling with some female stuff and relationship stuff. Who, after a while in my faith and whenever, we were actually able to pray together and accept Jesus Christ into his life.
Wow.
So that was really cool.
That's super
we
cool.
still talk now. So yeah, it was some really cool God moments. So that kind of led me, I stuck with crew. I think it was over.
So you like joined like or like it just
Became a leader.
Okay.
Joined the group.
Yeah.
Started doing the ministry stuff and started speaking in front of the people and doing stuff like that. So I just kind of
what a 180.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like light switch on, and now you're like, I gotta, because of who you are. You really said you can't sit still. You gotta kind of keep going. You're like, I need to feed this. Whatever this is, I need to stay in this, stay a part of this,
Yeah.
and see where it goes.
Yeah.
Okay. So you joined crew.
Yeah. I just knew at that, like I just knew something was different this time. Like I wasn't gonna look back. Like this was Jesus redeeming my life and me doing life with him. And so I jumped. I was all in with him. Still trying to balance school and stuff, going to parties, but not drinking and not, honestly being a light for once, like actually seeing what that was like. And then I think my first exposure to like a mission trip was over spring break. So with crew, we had the opportunity to go to Panama City Beach for spring break. And that's when I started to learn how to like evangelize and talk to people about Jesus. And so we went to, and since Alexandria's smaller, we kind of had to team up with St. Cloud State.
Okay.
So our two ministries teamed up. We went to Panama City Beach, did a whole conference there, learned how to evangelize. And going down there, I had to ride with some people I never knew. And, full God story, or full circle story. Now, one of the people that went to the mission trip from St. Cloud State is now my wife.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay.
So she went down there. We kind of talked here and there, nothing too crazy, just got to know each other a little bit. Obviously, I'm still pretty new in my faith journey, so I got to be pretty careful because you could slip into bad, old habits pretty quick.
Where was she at that point?
So her testimony's pretty similar. A lot of partying.
Yep.
A lot of the other side of things were, guys objectifying her, using her, and so it's just cool to be able to relate to her about our past and why we're doing the things we're doing now.
Yeah.
Like never would have saw that happening. So
so you go down to PCB.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So go down there. I'm just starting to build these relationships with people that actually love Jesus and follow Jesus, which is just cool for me, and just trying to learn from them and see what that looks like, and just trying to soak it all up. And a lot of it was evangelizing to kids that are there on spring break partying.
Really? Okay.
I was my bread and butter, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I just came from this. Like, why? And just talking to kids, it's like an opportunity. Like, why would you want to leave partying to go come down here to talk? Like, and I just got to tell them, like, man, you can party for so long, but it's just going to consume you. And you can't party 24/7.
No.
Like, it's going to leave you. You're going to feel those depression, those moments, and you can try to keep filling it up, but you're always going to want more and more and more. And so just connecting with them, I just really enjoyed that kind of evangelism because I came from it, right? So,
yeah. You could relate.
Yeah. So down there, actually was my wife's birthday when we were down there. So I just took her out to,
And we'll clarify this time, just a girl.
Yeah, it's not my wife.
Yep.
Just a girl. So I just took her out for some coffee for her breakfast or for her birthday. And I don't even like coffee, but it sounded cool.
Yeah.
So took her out for coffee.
You were tough and you didn't know what to order.
Yeah.
Give me the triple shot espresso Americano. Yeah, I'll do that. That sounds tough.
For sure. And nothing really came from it, but I just knew I kind of thought she was cool. Kind of liked her.
There was something there.
Yeah. Left the mission trip and she went back to St. Cloud State and I went back to Alexandria, and we kind of kept in connection. Just kind of worked that through. And then as things progressed, as college kept going, I was on track to actually graduate, which was going well. Like I wasn't making poor choices. Things were looking good. Kept talking to the girlfriend or Kaylin, who I met on the mission trip. Just kept talking with her. Things started to get a little more serious. Started talking about dating. We were getting discipled by our leaders, like our church ministry leaders, just how to even date correctly. Talking about courtship and stuff, which is old school, but things we needed to learn because all of our history was date, and that means being sexually active and out of doing these things. And so just learning all that stuff, and then we decided to start dating, and it was kind of cool. Like just a redeeming moment. We both made the decision like, hey, we aren't going to be sexually active until marriage, which is just, I don't know, like, I don't want to think of it as like we're better than people, right? Like we made that choice because we both have done things with past partners and saw the effects of it, like how it hurts us, and started to understand like how this was meant for marriage. Like it's just such a bonding thing that should be saved for marriage and what it represents. So we made that decision.
When you had a different opportunity, I mean, what an amazing realization you had.
Yeah.
And then meeting someone on a similar journey where you could actually, like, from the ground level up,
Yeah.
build something. That's pretty cool. A lot of people don't get that opportunity. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's almost like a reverse, it's thinking backwards, because everybody thinks of, Christians like, oh, they saved themselves till marriage and then did or whatever. It's like the opposite. Like we experienced things and decided not to, like, because we know the damage it has done to us.
Wow.
So I think that's just kind of powerful in itself. So we're dating, and then it comes to be the end of college. Like I said, my head's on right, making right choices, doing life with Jesus. And then I had the opportunity to do what's called a summer project through Crew. So it's basically after you spend the whole summer in a different state, wherever that is, with about, 100 other Christian kids from different colleges, and you get put into like a community, you work, and you just get discipled and learn how to evangelize. So I ended up going to South Carolina, North Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
So I spent my summer there right after college.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. And it was so cool because, like I said, we're 100 kids from Midwest and all the college kids, and nobody's partying. Like we're all on fire for Jesus,
Doing different stuff,
and
sports, and
I'm
I'm sure
actually
there's different
surrounded
activities
by these people who have good habits and good things that I'm learning from. So yeah, that was great. Kaylin at the time, then she got the opportunity to study abroad in England.
Wow.
So you think of like where we came from and our past history relationships, like now our beginning of our dating is in different countries.
Yeah.
Like the best thing for us, right? Like we don't even have our own temptations. We don't even have the possibilities. So just total God thing to like work that out. Like, hey, you guys are actually going to get to know each other, communicate, and not have to worry about
seeing each other.
Yes. So that summer, that's how we were dating and talking. I was doing stuff with North Myrtle Beach. I got a job down there at the golf course. And that's the idea of like you get a job and you just try to, make connections and make relationships inside the job with people. And yeah, it was just awesome. It was a great experience. I made some lifelong friends. One of the guys down there with, we were working at the golf course, and we have the similar testimony, struggle with partying. And I remember one time we were down there and he started to struggle a little bit with the idea of, smoking marijuana and struggling with that. And he actually fell to the temptation, but I was there with him and trying to get him to stop, but it didn't even no part of me wanted to do it. So I thought that was just cool, like moment of like God, like extracting those desires from me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, spent a lot of time down there walking the beach, evangelizing to people, just doing what I knew best. Like, hey, I came from this and now I'm here and I'm doing life with Jesus and this is why. And yeah, it was just an awesome point in my life. So
wow, that's super
cool.
So you come back from that, and that was that after college ended?
Yeah. So after college ended,
and so where are you? Are you like about to start being a cop? Are you working like correction facility or jail, or what? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah. So
with your journey for your career,
become a cop, the first thing you have to do is you have to pass a post test, which is like really long test. You get pretty anxious about it, and that was another kind of God moment. It's like my dad, really wanted me to be a cop, and so after you graduate, you do the post test. And I told him, I'm like, hey, I'm not even gonna do that right now. Like, I'm just gonna go do this mission trip. So that was kind of a moment where he's like struggling, like, oh man, how do
I say no to that? That's great.
Like, I want you to work about your career. Like, you need to get this figured out. But it was cool because he started to see the light bulb. Like, he's like, this God thing is, I think it's real because,
you're on fire.
Like, this kid is different. Like, he's way different than the Trevor I knew. So he was like, I think you need to do this. So I just kind of put everything on the back burner, put the test on the back burner, and just did my mission trip. And when I came back, I was a little nervous because I'm like, 3-4 months removed from college, and now I got to go take the test.
Yeah.
But passed the test right away.
Wow.
So passed the test, and then started to want to be a police officer. And I was pretty set on wanting to be a cop in Buffalo because that's my hometown. That's
Community.
That's where I struggled. That's where I, started to what I think figure things out and what I wanted to give back to. So I applied there. Couldn't get a job. It was really
Like I
hard.
said at the beginning, this was the time when
300-400 applications.
Wow.
I was struggling. So I was lucky enough. I started doing some part-time work in corrections at Wright County Jail. Then I got hired on full-time at Sherburne County Jail.
Okay.
And I mean, if you see me, like, I'm a small guy. Like, I still look pretty young.
Yeah.
There's nothing imposing about me. And at this time, I'm 19, 20 years old.
Yeah.
And I'm now starting in the Sherburne County Jail with, there's
real criminals in
real
there.
criminals.
Yeah, there's
There are
real
gang members.
bad stuff.
It's a federal place. And so that was just,
Eye-opening.
that was eye-opening. It was great for me because if I reflect, if I just went from growing up in Buffalo to working in Buffalo, I wouldn't have seen a ton of stuff, right? Like
Okay.
it's a pretty good
I'm
city.
sorry. Wright County's so much better than Sherburne County.
Yeah, no, but
I'm just kidding.
the inmates at Sherburne are federal. They're from
Yeah,
all over.
yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like
Yep.
legit gang members
Yeah.
and like ICE. And at that time, I think there was ISIS that was a thing, and he was being housed there
Oh, wow.
and stuff. So just being exposed to that and like being able to talk to these guys like humans,
Yeah.
it just helped my career and myself. Like just being able to see them. And
Were you
treat them.
evangelizing at the jail? Or was this kind of,
Yeah,
wasn't the opportunity there or
Yeah, so evangelizing to people, you always, even in police work, you always got to be kind of careful. You don't just
suppose.
come out strong and just be like, hey, here's Jesus Christ. But I find ways
be
like
mindful.
where they invite you into the conversation and then
Mhm.
you kind of just tell your story, right?
Yeah.
Like I can tell my story.
That's why we do this. That's
Yeah.
what,
So I used that a lot, and I was able to, I think, build a lot of relationships with inmates and stuff just because all they want is just respect and just to be looked at as human and stuff like that. So that brought me a long way, but I was definitely scared a lot. Like it's like the ratio is like 60 to 1 or 2 people. And I'm small, I'm 20. I'm like, I didn't know the things I did. I'm like, these guys could easily just kill me if they wanted to. So you just have to rely on how you speak with people.
kind of be respectful.
And then the work culture, that's what was crazy because I found myself just in a totally different world. Like I'm this 20-year-old. They know my story. They know went to these mission trips. I'm not swearing. I'm not doing these things. And all of a sudden I'm being called like the Bible humper and like homeschooled and like weird. I'm like, this is weird to me. Like, it's not me. Like I was always somewhat popular, fit in and whatnot. So that was like my first time like, oh man, I'm bearing a cross, I guess. Like I don't know what this is like. So I just tried my best not to be prideful, like be humble about it and just build relationships with people,
Yeah.
But I got to a point where I did 2-3 years of that and it was a really dark place. The work culture is just kind of dark. And I'm like, oh man, I think I'm either gonna have to commit to working here for my whole life, making a career out of it, or keep grinding away at trying to get a job. And luckily I applied to Buffalo 3 times, and I think the 3rd time is when I got hired on. So that's when it brought me to Buffalo, and I've been very thankful and love it there. So I've been working there. I guess during this whole process at the jail and stuff, me and Kaylin are still dating. She's in England. She's moved back, I think, at this time. And
Okay, I was gonna say. Okay.
she's still in college, so she got her 4-year at St. Cloud, ended up getting her master's. So
Yeah.
I'm done. I'm trying to do the grown up
Yeah.
life.
You're like,
She's
I
still
have
in
to work.
school. We were dating for maybe 6 months to a year. And I'm just like, you're the one. Like I don't want to waste time, right? Like
Yeah. Wow.
So we made the decision to get married, and we were engaged for like 6 more months. Got married within like a year and a half of dating. Lived together while she was still in college up at St. Cloud State. Just kind of a little apartment, doing life.
Yeah.
I'm working as a correctional
You're
officer.
both 20, 21, 22,
super
young.
young. We got married when we were 21.
Yeah.
So just super young, and I got hired on. We didn't have kids till we were 25, so that's when we had our first child. I got hired on Buffalo when I was about, I want to say 23, somewhere around there.
Wow.
So we're jumping around from apartments and townhomes, and I don't know, just trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Looking back, like I tell people now, like I feel like our culture is so much pressure on not getting married young nowadays because
Well, I think that I don't even know. I thought what the average age to get married. I know it used to be like it was like 27 or 28. I think it's probably
Yeah.
all of that, if not older now.
yeah, and
Honestly,
a lot of it comes probably from parents. Like I feel like I always hear parents like, "Hey, just live with us forever." Like
well, I
same
mean, you
time.
got 3 boys. You know, it's like
Yeah.
can you imagine right now those? You're like, no, don't
Yeah.
grow up, stay young.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it, but it's like I look back like getting married young, like you're just thrown into responsibility. Like you have
Yeah.
to, like you have somebody to care for, and I cherish that and those opportunities because you grow up fast, right? And then, yeah. So I get hired on by Buffalo. So like I said, I've been there about 8 years. I started out patrol and just messing things up and trying to figure things out, but I always knew like my heart, and I've been trying to stick with that as a police officer. Is like I want to spend time with teenagers.
Chuck has the median age.
Chuck's
Mean
got
age
it.
for
Oh, for
marriage in the U.S. is 28 to 30.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was pretty
That's why
close.
we have a Chuck, right?
That's what we got,
Yeah.
Chuck.
That's
Thanks,
why we
Chuck.
have
Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I just knew I wanted to invest in the teenagers and like that age group. So I've always been try to be true to myself and invest with them and do stuff with them. So
Be a role model for them,
Yeah.
and and you can relate so much because the temptations and the realities of a teenager, and it's not getting, like I said, I think we both can probably agree, it's probably not getting any easier
no. Yeah.
for that age group. So now you're in your own community, so it's kind of like this has been home for a long time,
Yeah.
and now you're giving back, and you're trying to see those ones that are maybe on the pushing their boundaries a little bit, and you can be a beacon of light, a beacon of hope, and God can use you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah. So work life, I got my dream job, things are going good. And trying to think personal life, we're probably around this time, we probably bought our first house in Monticello. So I think
Okay.
me and Kaylin, my wife, have moved to Monticello, and then we get connected into church and we're taking it serious. And what's funny is her leader, her pastor at church from St. Cloud State, when we moved to Monticello, there was a point when he messaged her and said, "Hey, I just had another couple graduate and move to Monticello. You guys want to, get together, meet them or whatnot?" And we were like, I don't know, just never happened.
Yeah.
Kind of brushed it off
Yeah.
for whatever reason. And then we end up going to church, and this time we're signing up for a small group, and we find a small group, a Bible study, and it's this two young couple, married couple. And we sign up, and they're wearing a Packer jersey. My wife's a Packer fan. She's from Wisconsin.
Jeez.
I'm like, hey, here we go.
So you married a Packer? You're a Vikings fan.
I'm a Vikings fan. Yeah.
You married a Packer fan?
Yeah. And my kids run around in Packer fans. I don't think they actually like them. They just like to
They feel bad for them.
they're like twisting their finger at me, and they're making fun of me. Like, oh, Dad doesn't like this, so I'm gonna do it. So I'm like, whatever, kids. So it's kind of fun, but so we join their small group, and we get to talking, and all of a sudden they say they're from St. Cloud State, and they were find out they're in the same college ministry as my wife.
You're like, these are the ones we blew off.
It is.
Did you tell them that?
We found out that they're the same pastor, and
Hey,
that's who
we were supposed to talk to you. We
connect
were
us
super
with.
busy.
And we just didn't do it, and God made it happen. So
Wow.
we joined a small group. It got bigger and bigger. At the time, I think there was probably, I want to say 6 couples.
Okay.
Maybe 1 or 2 left, and then 1 or 2 joined. But we've been pretty solid now with the same crew for 5 years now. And at the time, I think we were the only ones to have a kid.
Okay.
And just 2 days ago, one of them had a kid, and we're up to 13 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Wow. So you've been together for a while.
Yeah, we've been doing life together for a while, and it's been
Seen family growth.
It's
and
been
kids
amazing.
grow.
like we are just super tight, and we really care about each other, and we do cabins, and we hang out still once a week, and more than once a week probably, but yeah, we just do life together.
That's amazing. And
It's been awesome.
And that started at a church small group.
Yep.
And is you guys still plugged in there, or where?
So as the journey kept going together, we just kept, I don't know, like it's been a rare group where, like I said, I think the term Christianity is used so much, but then when I struggled with seeing people living a Christian life, like what that meant, like this group of guys like we and women, like when we met, like we legit got into the Word and actually grew and learned each other. And we're like, this doesn't seem normal. Like I've been in Bible study and we usually end up talking about football or whatnot,
Yeah.
but like we're legit trying to just run towards Jesus. I'm like, well, something's kind of cool in this group, and like
We don't small talk much. It's more just all here for the main thing.
and how we live and for Jesus and what that looks like. I'm like, this is a special group to me. Like, I don't know, this is cool. So we're just growing, or doing life together. And then we're always trying to be a little proactive about life and what's in store. So we invited another couple just who are a little older than us, just to get some questions out there and bad ideas about how to raise kids and whatever. And when they joined, it was meant to be like a God thing. Like, they're supposed to be part of this Bible study.
Okay.
So, and I would say he had the most, biblical knowledge, God knowledge. Like he's been growing up in Bible school and Bible college and was a pastor himself and stuff.
Wow.
So at
Great
that point,
resource.
At that point, he
Great
jumped
resource.
in, and now a bunch of us misfits who are trying to stumble through the Bible, trying to learn it all. Like,
But
we
you're
have
doing it
We have
together.
a lot more guidance. Like he has some really good concrete stuff. So we just, like I said, we just fit in. Like we didn't have any, I don't know what the word, I don't know. Nothing we did was like offend each other and whatnot. Like we just laid
It's
back.
organic.
We
It was
knew-
very organic,
we knew
very
we were gonna
intertwined.
do things that would upset each other at some time, but we never made a big deal of it. Like
Mhm.
we just did life together. So that leads us to kind of where we're at now. Or
Let's get into. I'm really interested to see and hear about.
Yeah.
So
as
that this small group turns into a church.
Yeah.
So let's take me through that.
So as we're learning things, we stumble across a podcast called Bama Discipleship.
Yeah, you got the shirt on. I see it. You're
right
repping.
now.
Giving them credit.
And this podcast and discipleship just blew a lot of our minds and opened it up, just like how to study the Bible and how to learn the Bible and not just be so, I don't know what the word is, but like what I have always done, superficial or selfish, where I just take the Bible and just, how is it going to benefit me? Like, how am I going to benefit from this? How do I apply this? And it just started to turn our minds outwardly to like other people, like the things that God has done to me and the fruits that he's helped me bear and stuff. Like he didn't do it for me at the time. I always thought it was going to be for me and I was going to benefit, but it's actually everything he's done in me is to help go out and now help other people.
Yeah.
So it just really I've said radically changed the way I thought and the way I learned and studied the Bible. So we were just all on fire. Like we were just constantly like consuming more and more podcasts, and we want to be very careful, like not to take this as the gospel or as God, right? So we have different influences, different leaders that we learn from and whatnot, but we just kept consuming more and more. And one of the guys in our Bible study worked for a church, and he's just getting kind of worn out by the church life. Like it just ended up being like a big production. He's like, I'm losing my heart for it, love for it, because it's work, like it's just every Sunday. Our culture has made churches to be such a big production. Like it has to be the biggest screens and the most lights, and has to have comfortable coffee and things like that.
You gotta have donuts.
Yeah, and so
Gotta have donuts.
those are all just weighing on our hearts. Like I don't know. We're just kind of struggling and battle with like, is that
What's the
what
real image?
church is supposed to represent? And I'm not bashing or anything.
No,
'cause
absolutely not.
I think it brings a lot of people. Churches want to bring the most people to them. So the more inviting
Share the
they
message.
are, the more people will come. So I don't know. We were just wrestling with that. We just prayed for a long time on what's in store for us or what's the next step. Some people started to get some dreams and what God thought to like. I don't know if he's telling us we should start a church or what, but we just somehow got that seed planted. Just kept praying on it, kept growing ourselves, kept running towards Jesus. And then, like when I mentioned back in my testimony, the high school family with the farm property and the basketball court, so how that played such a big impact in my life. Me and my wife, like since we were 21, we've we've been pretty good stewards with our money, like responsible, been given a lot, or I guess blessed, whatever you say it,
Yeah.
with, for whatever reason, the vision of like having that property, like that type of property.
Okay.
Like I just knew what it did for me, and I'm like, it's not like I had 3 boys at this time, like
Yeah.
to run around with.
You had no
I'm like,
idea.
I just want kids to come out and have that opportunity. And so like we just worked on it. We had 1 or 2 houses that we worked really hard on to remodel and flip and just save up money. Didn't know when an opportunity would come, but we were just like, let's just be ready for it.
Okay.
So we're all kind of in this journey together. Things are brewing in this Bible study. And then so just recently, it was November of this last year, all of a sudden I'm looking at listings or whatever, and this farm property comes up. It's still in like pending, or it's still like incoming, so it's not even listed.
Okay.
Trevor, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
This might be kind of weird, but when you messaged me on Facebook to measure some stuff for landscaping, was this in the works?
Oh man, when was that? You got to remind me.
I don't remember. This would have been like August, September. We had a faith
would've been.
conversation like at the truck. Like,
Yeah, if it was around then, I think it probably would have been. Yeah, it could have been.
that's awesome. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
That's right. So I'm like, we got to go see this. And I'm always impulsive and kind of crazy when my wife's definitely mellows me out.
Yep. That's why we need wives.
Yes.
Yep.
So I'm like, we got to go check this out. So we go there, and it's not listed, but it's vacant. The house is vacant.
Was it foreclosed on or just not sure?
So the story's really cool. I mean, it's sad. I mean, he's an older guy. He's in his 80s now. Found out his wife passed away. And his kids are all grown up.
Mm-hmm.
And so he just couldn't take care of it by himself anymore. So he listed it to an investor. He had 30 acres on this property.
Wow.
The investor told him he's got somebody lined up to buy it. The guy really didn't want it subdivided.
Yeah.
Investor bought it, subdivided into 3 properties, but more God stuff because we couldn't afford it. With the 30 acres.
Okay. Yep.
So it gets subdivided as 13 acres with this property, and now it's reasonable, like it's feasible, it's possible for us to afford it. So we go out there and walk around, and I'm like, I don't think anyone lives here. So I kind of peek around a little bit more. End up getting what I did was.
And you're the cop that trespasses.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
So I left a note card in the door, and I said, "Hey, this is something we've really, thought about, dreamed about. Love the opportunity to just come take a look at it." And the realtor gets it and calls me. He's like, "Hey, all the buildings are open, like whatever, the outdoor buildings. Just peek your head in or whatever." So I do, and then I don't remember if it was photos or whatever, but I stumbled across one of the buildings is an old dairy barn. The old round dairy barn. Bottom is one level. The upstairs is all wood and a basketball
No
court.
way.
I was like, holy cow! Okay, that is pretty cool.
This is throwing you back to days of going to Caleb's place.
Like, this would be pretty sweet.
Yeah.
All right. So then we go to this whole property has a detached garage, another outbuilding, a horse stable, dairy barn. So it's just got random buildings.
Yeah. Yep. It was a farm property. Yep.
So then we go to the diagonal adjacent building, and it's a 2-story red building, and the basement it's got a furnace. The whole building's got a furnace. The basement is 1 level, and it's all concrete, kind of finished, kind of not. And then the backside is the stairs up to the loft area, which is fairly large.
Yeah.
We go up there, we walk in, and it's like old school church red carpet. It's got 2 hanging like old Catholic church lights in it. And we walk in, and we're like, this feels like an old school like Catholic church. Like, what is this thing?
Yeah. In a hayloft.
And come to find out, like sorry.
You're good.
He got the lights from his old Catholic church and whatnot, and had all these ideas and visions for how he's going to use it or whatnot. But we walked in, we're like, dude, this is a church. Like, this feels like a church. So me and small group all walked in, and we're like, I think this is our time. If this pans out, like, we're going to start a church, and this is going to be where it's at.
And this is what, 10 months ago?
Yeah.
Roughly?
November.
10 months ago?
So we did a lot of praying. At that time, it was just our Bible study, so a group of 12, 13 people. didn't know what it was going to look like. The guy who's our pastor, he was connected with a couple more couples, maybe 4 or 5, that are also on this Bema journey and learning
Okay.
a ton and on fire for Jesus.
Yep.
So we're starting to talk with them like, hey, I don't know, this is what's on our hearts. Like, you guys do you guys think it is? Like, yep, we want to be a part of this.
Yeah.
So, tell the realtor, I'm like, hey, don't list it. Like, just tell us what you want. Let's just make it happen. Ended up, at the time, he accepted our offer, but we had to be contingent on selling our house.
Okay. Yep.
So selling our house, we did a 30-day contingency. After that, then he could call.
That's aggressive.
Yeah, then he could call it and, move on if we don't buy it. So I thought, like, both houses now, like I said, we've done a lot of work.
Yeah.
We've always had it ready because I had the idea of once the house comes, I want to be ready to jump on it.
Go. Okay.
So I was like, it's going to sell. It'll be all right. And the market was really hot at this time.
Yeah.
It didn't sell. We were on like day 28. I'm like, oh man, like this is not cool. It's like day 28 of 30. We get an offer, going back and forth, all cash offer. End up the guy, after it's all said and done, he is a pastor as well.
Wow. So tell me God isn't working in like 8 different ways here. Like this has to happen.
So he's a pastor himself. The deal gets through the last few days. Everything's set to go, and we're moving forward.
Wow.
Move into this property, and it's an old farmhouse.
Yeah.
It needs some work.
Yeah.
I think the first weekend we were there, we caught 30 mice in the house. My wife was losing it. I'm like,
oh boy,
it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. I promise.
Doing this for God,
Yeah.
right? Living with the mice.
Yeah. So.
Wow.
What's your cat's name? Eleanor?
Eleanor, yeah.
Okay.
So you have a happy cat.
Yeah.
An outdoor cat. She's great. Way better than my dog, who's just all right. Never mind. So yeah, we make the move, and then that obviously starts the process of all right, we're starting.
Now we have the property. We
Yeah.
have the location, which is a huge piece.
Yep. Yeah. So we start the processes going on. I have no idea about 501(c)(3)s or any of that stuff, or how it all works. But so because the property has a horse stable on it, I knew, and the property's more expensive than we normally could afford. Right?
Yeah.
So there's a horse stable and a pasture, so I knew I needed to lease out that to try and get some income back.
Yep.
So I find an attorney to draft like a horse boarding contract.
Okay.
So she specializes in that, and as we get to talking, I tell her some of this other stuff going on. She's like, yeah, ministry and stuff is something I specialize in, and it's on my bucket list to start a church.
She says that.
Yeah. So I'm like, well, let's do the horse boarding, and let's start talking about starting a church here.
Oh my gosh.
So she starts helping us how to start a 501(c)(3), a nonprofit, a church, whatever that looks like. Since it's on my property, me and our pastor now just did a lot of the legwork of getting that all finalized and set up, and I had no idea what it entails. And I think of mega churches and some of the big churches and some of the, if there is frustration, I don't know just what it turns into. I kind of get it after doing it, because the state, they just really make it feel businessy when you're trying to set it up, and I'm like, I just want to start a church and love Jesus, but I get like
your motives are so pure, and the state makes it a little tougher.
Like if people are tithing, like you gotta have things in place, like what you're gonna do with the money. You can't just take people's money, right?
Yeah.
Like so I get it, but it's just like, oh man, this is starting to cramp a lot of my excitement and love for starting this and Jesus. Like I'm just getting bogged down by this business talk and whatnot. But we chugged along, and it was.
God got you through that.
Yeah,
He gave you all these other signs. Pastor buys your house in the final hour.
For sure.
Attorney wants to get into mission work.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it gets all started and approved, and we're chugging along, and we technically hired our pastor, so he works for us, and we were able to pay him a salary. He's already paid position.
Yep.
And then, we set like a leader board. So we got like a president and a secretary and treasurers and things like that. And it's just been a really cool journey. And I guess our Bible study we started, like we're up to 13 kids. So we are really like 7 years and under. We are kid heavy.
Wow.
So we have a lot of kids running around. Our building is, it's probably like the size of this, a little bigger, and double loft. So the downstairs, every morning for Sundays we have a brunch or a breakfast together.
Yep.
So we start at 8:30. We have breakfast together and just do community, and then after that, kids go downstairs and we just rotate volunteers out for them, and then we go do a service upstairs.
Wow.
So and it's been just really cool.
So when was like service one? Like when was the first?
We started up in January. And
Okay, so it's nice and
a
warm
lot
up.
of
Good.
trials and trying things out, and
Yeah.
still like the building is still exposed, ceiling stuff and
Yeah.
whatnot, and working through it. But that's just kind of where our heart is. Like,
If God has a plan for you, you don't need to have it all
Yeah.
figured out.
And
You just got to
that's-
trust Him.
and that's something that's been huge for me and myself, because our culture and society is everything things need to be presented first, and
You
then
almost
the
need to
rest
know
comes.
the destination before
Yeah.
you're there.
Yeah,
Like, well, this is gonna get here.
yeah,
I know it.
Our kids still talk about going to Trevor's for church.
yeah.
And like how like the adults were rocking out too much and like disturbing the Wi-Fi for the
kids?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I don't know, but they're stoked about it, and they're like, "Can we go to Trevor's church? Can we go to Trevor's church?" And it's like, "Well, we're serving at ours. Maybe we need to. I don't know what. Can you have dual occupancies in churches?
Absolutely.
I don't know.
I think
mean,
I
I
think
don't-
it's allowed. I
Yeah.
don't think anybody's holding us back.
No.
Yeah, it's just so different than everything else, because you're coming out to a farm. Like, we got chickens.
Yeah.
There's some kids that have some social anxiety, but they love the chickens.
Yeah.
So they
It's therapeutic.
They call it the chicken farm. I'm like,
Yeah.
whatever. This is awesome.
chicken
It's cool."
church.
Yeah, chicken church. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what they call it. So yeah, it's just way different. It's kind of like challenging our society and culture, because before, myself and everything needed to be nice. Like, I want the donuts, I want the coffee.
Yeah.
And now, like, this is uncomfortable. Like, it's kind of tight.
Yeah.
It's tight space. It's not convenient. We only have one service. Like, if you were gonna want to commit and be a part of it, like, you're gonna have to inconvenience yourself.
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's gonna have to be. Yeah. So it's been just way
But I think
different.
God works when you get out of your
Yeah.
socially comfortable norm. You really start to see how God wants to use you
Yeah.
when you're uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I think when we're uncomfortable, and it almost goes back to it's so common you hear, I only pray when I need a favor. I only talk to God when I need a favor,
Yeah.
And I think being uncomfortable forces you, and it gives God an opportunity to kind of like direct you, because you're like, I really don't know. I don't have this all figured out.
Yeah.
Where if you stay in your comfort zone, stay in your box, it's just, you kind of don't look to God as much, maybe. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yeah, no, I think that's spot on. Yeah. Yeah. And then
Trevor, when you were praying about this as a group, or even just you guys individually, was there any scripture that really spoke to you? Like, was the Holy Spirit bringing scripture to your guys' heart? You talked about dreams, but was like, obviously you guys are a very Bible-focused
Yeah.
group. Just wondering what that looks like.
I can't think of it off the top of my head. Something we've been really wrestling with right now is just like Psalms 1. So being like, blessed are those that are like, maybe I'll read it here quick. So get it for
Yeah,
verbatim.
Yeah. We got hard copies. We got digital copies.
Yeah, so blessed is the one who does not walk in step with the wicked, or stand in the way that sinners take, or sit in the company of mockers, but whose delight is in the law of the Lord, who meditates on his law day and night. That person is like a tree planted by streams of water, which yields its fruit in season, and whose leaf does not wither. Whatever they do prospers. So that's something we kind of just wrestling with, and it's more because we're trying to get the mindset of being not using the term Christian, even though that's what we call ourselves, but like
Yeah.
followers of Christ, like disciples of Jesus Christ. Like, how are we being discipled to be like him more and more every day? Something that maybe our society can relate to is like apprentice, the word apprentice.
Yeah.
Like, we all know what it looks like to go be a carpenter or some kind of tradesman.
Way to use a Jesus trait there.
Yeah.
I like that.
So where you go to work and you follow somebody
Yeah.
all the time. Like, they teach you how to do it. Like,
We're apprentices of Jesus.
yes. So
Yeah.
how do we do that, Jesus? And that has been just like, every month we kind of have a certain journey that we do, and it's based on scripture and how to try and resemble Jesus. So like one, is trying to learn how to fast. And again, it's not a legalistic thing. Like if you don't fast or can't, we're not saying you're not going to make it to heaven, but scripture talks about fasting and how they did fast. And so it's like, I want to do that. Like I want to be more and more like Jesus and learn some things I can learn from fasting. So we talk about fasting. We try to practice fasting. Another one is Sabbath, which has just rocked me because I've never done Sabbath in my life. I'm so much into our Western culture and society where I'm so production based.
Yeah.
Like me and my wife, it's really hard to stop doing things. Like we
Yeah.
just work all the time.
Yeah.
So then you think of Sabbath, like I
It's a
think
day of
all
not
my
work- it's a
church,
day off.
I don't ever remember it being talked about or, being encouraged to practice, So doing that, I'm like, man, and God talks about how like Sabbath isn't for him. Like he made Sabbath for us. Like it's for us to learn how to know when to stop, like to pull away from this desire to constantly get more and do more. Like it's okay, just take some time with him, take some time with your family and do things you enjoy and whatnot. So that thing that our church has implemented has been, I'm not the best at it. I'm still practicing. And the weird thing with my schedule is police, like I work weekends, so it's really hard to have that routine of what day to do it. Whereas, a lot of people do it on Saturdays or Sundays.
I was just say, I think that's a miss. Everyone thinks the Sabbath has to be Sunday,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think it's just a day of the week.
Yeah. So that's something we do. Is like our Sabbath looks a lot different than people's because I might be off Monday, Tuesday, and just tell our kids, hey, we're gonna Sabbath today, and that means mom and dad aren't gonna work. We're just gonna hang out with you guys, do some fun stuff together, and kids don't really get Sabbath, so we try and tell them like to abstain from some things. We try to teach them that, or I guess that's more for fasting, but
Yeah.
Sabbath is just kind of, letting them just have fun, just doing stuff, enjoy the day,
Yeah.
enjoy what God's given us. So
what is God working? Like, I mean, obviously this is still within its first year,
mhm.
but obviously there's ideas. I mean, you have a lot of things you've worked on and put in place. And what is God calling you to do next at the chicken church? I'm just kidding. I
yeah,
shouldn't say-
no, that's great. I love it.
But like what? So like where do you see this going? I mean, what is? I think I like what you're doing on, like you said, the modern church is very trying to be comfortable, and that's not a bad thing. Like you said, you want to get, because everyone is so used to comfort. Well, if you can leave home, go somewhere where they got good coffee, they have good sound,
Yeah,
they got snacks, it feels a little more welcoming. So it's like, okay, hey, I can, and then if that's all it takes, and God can use the message in that church, that's a fantastic.
yeah.
But the direction you guys are going, what does it look like? Like what is the ideas or plans? I mean, obviously you don't have it all figured out. I don't think
Yeah.
you need to, but
Yeah. So the big thing that we are trying to hit home or trying to wrestle with is what church community looks like, right? Like, because you think of these big churches and they get so big, and we have small groups and they implement that, which is great. But you think of all these different services, like there's no way you know everybody. It's impossible.
yeah.
So we're just really trying to know, like, what did he envision with community? Like he did life with these disciples and people, like they did everything. So we really try to do a ton of things together, try to be available together. We really, I don't know how to word it. Like we are obviously, if God wants us to grow and brings people to us, we will. We want it to be very organic and like relational. Like if
You're not looking for this to. You don't want it to necessarily be big.
Yeah,
You just want it to be a.
We don't have the space for it to.
You just want it to be a God
explode.
thing.
Yeah.
This God use it.
Yeah. So like our big thing is like I push towards like we don't really want to market the church.
Yeah.
Like we just don't want that. Like if you come to church, I pray it's because somebody within the community, the church community, went out and had invited somebody over for dinner or just got to know them and like, hey, this is what we got going on here, and I want to care about you. And if they build an organic relationship, then that
It's almost
Jesus
building
is
a
orchestrating.
discipleship.
Yes.
And then disciple
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah.
But it doesn't necessarily mean the church has to get bigger. It's just it's a
Yeah.
place for discipleship and some training
Yeah.
per se.
Yeah.
And then you can take that discipleship and keep going out.
Yeah.
Because that seems like that's what you're really good at.
Yeah, and that's what we want to be big, because it's like I want to know I want to learn how to be discipled. Like I want people to learn from, and then I want to learn how am I discipling people, because I think back when I became a Christian, I was evangelizing. It was beautiful, and I'd go share the word and get people to maybe say the prayer to like give their lives. But after that, never seen the person again. I'm not doing life with them.
Yeah.
I don't know their struggles or whatnot. And again, planting seeds. I'm not saying it's
God
wrong
takes
by
it
any
from
means,
there.
yeah.
Yep.
But I just like I want these people to. I want to actually love people. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know how to do that, but
Yeah.
we're trying to learn. And I think that's just been just studying, different cultures in the Bible and what it meant in different societies, and something we realize is just like more of the Eastern cultures, like how hospitable they are. Like people open up their homes all the time and have people over, and whereas we like our home is like our safe place, and we don't really want to bring people in there. It's like I want to be at a place where I just have people welcome all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. So that's kind of what we see for the church. We are.
Well, how I knew Trevor was doing the church thing on Facebook,
Yeah.
but I left here, men's group, and Trevor was out on his 4-wheeler, and I just swung in.
Yeah.
And he was like, "How do you know I live here?" And I was like, "I actually plowed this driveway for 5
yeah.
years."
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, church. We're probably outgrowing the building. Like we
Yeah.
get pretty tight on Sundays,
Wow.
which is a great thing.
That's amazing.
So we don't know what's going to be next. Don't know what that looks like. If we're going to have to move off the location, no idea.
Yeah.
But something I've just loved is like the question of like what's next, and something we all are struggling with, but I'm taking great joy in is like our building itself. Again, it's like it's a nice building, but it's still rough. Like it
Yeah.
doesn't look like your normal church.
Yeah.
I find myself so often like, we need to get this done. We need to get this done. It's like, why? Stop fighting yourself to make the perfect setting or the scenario. It's like, just Jesus,
What makes it perfect if it's not perfect?
You're here learning about Jesus, loving people. Like, just that's perfect. That's what
Well,
Jesus wants.
The church is the body of Christ. It's
Yes,
the people.
yeah.
It's not the building.
Yeah.
Like that's what I saw mostly when we went to like it was community. I talked to your dad. You know what I mean? Like and we have friends that are in your guys' circle.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's amazing to see how Christ works in that. I don't know. It's a lot of fun. All this is fun. Like the fact that should we tell people how we met?
Yeah, for sure.
At jiu-jitsu.
Heck yeah.
And like it's
Two
funny.
guys beating each other up.
Yeah.
Well,
Sweating on each other, crying a
Trevor
little.
was beating me up.
I don't know. Nowadays, I haven't been able to go in a long time, so
yeah, man, it's a lot of fun. But there was a camaraderie that happened, and then it was like, oh, you're a Christian? Oh, yeah. And there's this, and I'm rough. I'm a rough. Disclaimer. Trevor's probably like, I don't know about this dude a little bit, but yeah.
No, something that Bema talks about is the word chutzpah, which I don't know if you ever looked that up or whatever. But the Hebrew word, it's like people that just they're willing to do it, like they have it, like they got the oomph. Like
Okay.
God loves to work.
What's the
with
word?
those
Say it
people.
again.
Chutzpah. Yeah. So
I like that.
God just, I don't know. You think of all the ton of characters in the Bible, like some of them even push back against God, but God loves somebody that's going to go do something.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I relate to that because I like to think I got some chutzpah, but I don't know.
Well, explain. So
Trevor in my phone is Trevor Rebel Eder because it's
how you associate them?
Well, Rebel Jiu-Jitsu, right?
Yeah.
That's where I met him, and so here's a little bit of rebel, right?
Yeah.
Chutzpah,
Yeah.
in a way, but obedient.
Yeah.
Chutzpah, right? I think this call is never easy, right? This call is never. It's not like, hey, you're gonna do something super nice and it's gonna go easy. That's not the call.
Yeah.
Like how many pastors were called to do something incredibly dangerous? Like, oh, by the way, you're gonna go evangelize in China. What? No, I don't know. Like if they were uncomfortable, like if like there's a situation that's completely uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. Well, how? Like I don't know. See, there's a missionary that I love. His name is C.T. Studd.
Okay.
I don't want to even like quote some of his quotes, but if you're looking for like a wild man of ministry, like he was a cricket player, and he evangelized in China and Pakistan and like all over the world, and this guy was bringing like one of his quotes is, it's not verbatim, but he was like, I would rather bring the gospel outside of the umbrella of the church bell and start a rescue tent at the gates of hell.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's good stuff.
Interesting.
I like that.
I should look up the real quote.
No, you're good. You're good. So, explain. So, sweet sleeve tattoo.
Yeah. I think
So explain, viewers. It depends if you're watching or not. You may not be able to see it too well, but I've been staring at it because it looks freaking awesome. So walk me through that, because you have a little bit of scripture. You got, is it what, Greek word on on backside of your forearm?
Yeah.
So take me through like what that means to you and what that represents.
Yeah. So I mean, the lion kind of looks just cool, so I ran with that.
I
got
like
the
it.
cross
Yeah.
in it, but the scripture I got on my arm is Proverbs 31:8. So speak for those who, oh man, I'm drawing a blank here.
No,
now. I
you're,
just
yeah,
said
we
it
got you on
earlier.
the spot. We got you on the spot.
Speak for those who cannot speak for themselves, for the rights of all that are destitute. So
See, that's
that kind of
that
relates
right
to,
there relates to what you're doing.
Yes, relates to me being a police officer and just
Well, and
trying
even
to be
beyond
the-
that, what
yeah.
you're doing for God. I
Sure.
mean, that speaks this church,
Yeah,
if you want to call it that, or
yeah,
it is.
Full on it.
No. But I'm using that as like, not saying it's like a church big entity. I mean, it is a church. You
Mhm.
register, whatever. But I didn't mean it. Yeah.
yeah.
You know what I
you're
meant.
good. You're
Adam,
good.
stay away.
Absolutely.
Leave us alone, Adam. We're talking over here.
Is
But-
this kind of the church big C versus church little C discussion?
Ooh,
Could be.
Chuck.
Yeah, could be.
Because church big C is usually thought of as the building.
Yeah,
Church small c is what we're doing here. It's the people
yeah.
that are
Don't we have
gathering.
it flipped
When what do you,
in
in
society?
society? I would, yeah. I mean, a lot of times I think with good intentions, but it just kind of it's just our culture. It's just our society where we just, yeah, it's just the way we're raised, and so it's hard to get that out of us.
Like I said, we're creatures of habit and
Yeah.
comfort.
Yeah,
If you can go somewhere comfortable, and maybe you don't want to know anyone there, you want to just kind of go,
yeah,
and then say you went to people, but you don't really want to be seen or heard. There's just different people. Just how different people act.
yeah,
So I think I think everyone finds God in a different way. Everyone and God finds them in a different way. I think is the bigger picture, and I think what you're doing is so unique and cool and unheard of. I mean, I'm sure there's other, I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's
I'm sure there's
other
house
underground
churches,
and
yeah,
house,
for
church, people that are just doing this. Hey, we got this journey group, small group, and we created this little church. But yet they might not have went to the level you're at.
Yeah.
I mean, are you doing like baptism and everything? Are you about to? Is that
We're about-
coming up?
That is coming up. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's in like a week or two.
So do you have like you digging? You got like a pool, or you doing like
have
the horse trough, or
We have a pond on the property that is completely hasn't been used in years. Nasty.
ooh?
It
Okay, I
is-
don't know if I want to volunteer for that.
I know. So me and a couple guys been rolling up our sleeves and trying to clean it up. We're on like the home stretch. We have a work day Sunday to try and finish cleaning it up and seeing, because when they built it, like they have a great setup. Like they have an inlet for water pumped up to 2 waterfalls. Like
Oh, wow.
It looks like everything should be really good.
Yeah,
It just it
Hasn't
has
been
been used
maintenance.
forever.
you haven't had Birch Lake landscape out there
Yeah.
to work on.
So I got some of his equipment now, so I'm gonna try. We're gonna try to hit it. So
You know a guy.
if we're really hoping we can get it ready and for some baptisms, because it'd just be kind of cool to be on the property it started. But if not, we have a backup plan for
Yeah.
just a pool nearby.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd just be kind of a little more sentimental, I guess. But we'll see. Because yeah, it was
if it's done in the pool,
yeah.
I did the pool deck.
Yep, there you go. There you go.
So, am I gonna have my hand in this
Yeah, for
baptism
sure.
one way or the
Never
other?
know.
I don't know.
That would be
Never
the
know.
pool. So yeah, trying to think. Just talking about like the big church and little church. I'm trying to think. If you think of like the Exodus story with the Israelites, like God and Moses getting them out of Egypt, right? Like they were slaves for so long, and even when they were being, exiled and taken away with Moses and stuff, they still were trying to almost go back into slavery. Like there was moments where
They didn't trust the process.
They would have rather went back.
Yeah.
And so God during that whole time was working on, getting Egypt out of the people, right? Like getting his people back.
That's a good way to say it.
Trying to pull Egypt out of everything that they did, the slave, this production. He was working so hard to get his people. Like, you don't need to be slaves. It's not about however many bricks you can lay or whatever. And I think about that a lot in our society. Like, and I'm still struggling with this process of Sabbath and fasting, and like, it's not about how much work I can do at the house, like, or with it. Like, God is just trying to remove that stuff from me, like that production side of it. So, yeah, I think we can relate to that a lot in our society and our consumerism and how much we want and how much we need, and it's hard.
I think
really
it's
very difficult.
It's hard for us to like. This is part of the submit, right? This is part of like letting God work. We do this a lot. Like I struggle with this a lot, even especially with this venture, right? Like to let God work, and even like our prayer before we started, we're talking, like it's not going to be completely eloquent, and it's not going. The testimony isn't. It's not going to be full. I've had lots of conversations with people that try and critique this, and I'll take the critique, and I love it. And it's like, well, that wasn't a testimony. Well, maybe it's not the way you think of it as a testimony, but the way somebody else heard it is, which I think is wild to think. For one, the Holy Spirit works in those open places.
Yeah.
We need to let the Holy Spirit work. I'm only a dude. You guys are only guy. Chuck's only a guy. We only have so
Chuck
much
is
in
Chuck.
it. Chuck is Chuck.
Let's clarify.
That's true.
Let's clarify.
That's true.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, I think what you're doing is, just incredible. And what a calling. What a journey to get there from high school athlete, party boy, to I'm going to be a cop, to finding literally God reaching out to you and calling you on his own. Like, you didn't have to have, you went through some very hard times and dark times.
Yeah.
But like, you didn't need to go to jail. You didn't need, you know what I mean? Like, and then like, what's amazing and I find it incredible is how God, like, you're just like, I don't need to drink anymore. I just took, or I just like, he just removed that craving. Because I think when you look to God and give it to God, he just takes it for you.
Yeah.
Like, and a lot of times we try to hold on to too much. And if you give it to God, he'll take it.
Yeah.
But we oftentimes as humans just we don't know how to do that. We like you said, we kind of hold on to things. We value things, and we put so much emotion into stuff and whatever. But even our own things, we don't want to let go. Even if it's not an actual possession, it's just a drinking with my buddies or whatever it is. If it's harming you or harming your relationship with God or your family, maybe we got to look at it. Maybe we need to give that to God.
Yeah.
And when you do, I think that's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
Our sin becoming our idol.
Yeah. Yeah. Idols.
Not good.
Idols can just work their way in everything. I just, like, you think of levels to it. I know, like, some people struggle with the idea of like different levels of sin, right? Like, somebody murders somebody, and all of a sudden now they are living with Jesus and they can just be saved. Like, they struggle with that. But then, like, I think of like when God took the craving of partying and drinking from me, like, that seems a lot more extreme. But now in my current, where I'm at right now, like, I want to rejoice and be happy with how far I've come and I've learned and what he's doing with me, but also reflect, like, now I've been struggling the last few weeks that just church has brought to light, like just my cell phone use, right? Like how much more could I grow and do things for Jesus if I could just stop my screen time?
Yeah.
Like seems so small and petty compared to like some other stuff, but it's still like that's an idol that's
It's a thing.
consuming me.
It's
like,
a thing.
So it's just crazy how every little thing can just pop up and we can.
That's why
idolize
we're
it.
children of God.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
not. They don't call us adults of God. I've heard that a few times, and I've stolen that from people I've heard it from, and I plagiarize it, and I'm like, but it's so true.
Yeah.
So I think we just got to stay on the path, and I think using resources like yourself, your small group, friends, community, followers of Christ, is so imperative to the growth.
Yeah.
Because you can't do it on your own, and can't do it on your own without God, and even on your own with God is difficult, because God didn't do it. Jesus didn't do it. He took redneck fishermen, is my favorite thing to say.
Yeah.
Took redneck fishermen, and that's how the word started. That's literally the church started with a bunch of redneck fishermen going out and spreading the gospel.
Yeah.
So you think of it that way, it's like he was using unperfect people.
Yeah.
That's a play. That read that. Tell me that's not telling us something. Like you don't need to be a perfect person.
Yeah.
For God to do something with your life. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so it's been cool, and I just think back, like, I don't want to make it about like myself and my own story, but like our kids and how like we all started with one kid, and now we have 13, and now they all get to do this experience with each other and grow up together. Like I'm just really excited to see how they grow up and what God has in store for them. Like it's just really cool. It's been really fun. It's been really cool to see our pastor who, he'll tell you like he never went to seminary school. Like you'd probably consider himself by the terms uneducated or whatever, but like some of the stuff he's teaching us and digging into the Bible and learning from different things, it's just kind of cool. Just like proud, like, yeah, Jesus is doing some cool stuff. Like, so it's just cool to see all that. Yeah, I don't know. It's been cool to see how God orchestrated the whole thing. We've got to know the old owner and talk to him, and he's a devoted Catholic, and I've invited him to the church and stuff, and he's respectfully been like, I've been practicing Catholicism for this long, I can't change it now. I'm like, all right, but he's an old school veteran, like 80 something, and we've got to meet up a couple times, and it's cool because he walked the property and was pretty emotional and about the things we're doing and whatnot, and talking to him. So just more God stuff is like where I'm at now, police officer, my role, and what he used to do. He was a St. Paul police officer.
Oh, wow.
St. Paul police officer. We worked the exact same position, a patrol sergeant. This wasn't even his primary house out at the farm. It was like their farmhouse where they would take the kids. They had a school bus down in St. Paul, and they would do foster care at Ramsey. And they would load the kids up and come out to the farm property. And I'm like, oh, man.
The history at this place.
Just everything I could have,
wow.
could have hoped for. So
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I just want to be a good steward to the property and, what God's put on our heart and provided us with. I know right now our boys are so young that like they don't really get to experience like the basketball courts. Yeah, they get to run around, but
don't blink.
They'll get there.
Don't blink.
Yeah.
They'll find the rusty nails soon enough.
And so I struggle with, again, more of just myself, and I think of like, oh, I need to put in a volleyball court or get this ready or that ready before I bring these teenage guys who I've met over my career that I've built relationships with. Before I bring them out, I need to have this ready. And so the people have been put on my heart, like, no, just stop that. Like, just let them be a part of that process and just bring them out. So I've been really on my heart and trying to act on it, just to all these teenagers that I've built connections with. Just get them out there with me.
Yeah.
I don't even know what it'll look like. Just come work on the pond with me. I don't know. Let's just hang out. Like, maybe that's what they need. Because, like, when I saw the family at the farm, like, when I saw them living a life that looked like Jesus, that they played a big part on it. So maybe they just need to be exposed to what it looks like to live life with Jesus. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that's more of me just rambling. There's a lot of times that I have all these thoughts just brewing in my head. I just want to act on it.
I don't think you're far off, dude. Though
Yeah.
you're taking these young guys, or maybe they're girls, and you got an awesome spot to like allow like this is what Christian masculinity looks like.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
that's rare. That is rare in society, and so
Yeah.
you
I
got
think
a great spot. You're in a good position for it. Like,
is that your guys' former podcast? You guys were talking about Christian masculinity.
I think
that
we
was.
brought up Wild at Heart.
Yeah.
The book we
Yeah, we
read.
I did like that because like as just guys and teenagers, like I just always had that long desire of being somebody or being masculine or being a leader and what that looks like. And Jesus just like the ultimate, like giving his life, not doing anything wrong,
Yeah.
loving people.
So
It's like,
masculine.
that's so masculine. He can
But
do
it's-
anything he wants.
So painted and
Yeah. That's why I
Yeah.
think like where we met jiu-jitsu, like why I think it's so great and whatnot. Cause it's like, man, some of these guys and they train and they could just destroy me. But like most of them, if they are legit and stuff, like they're never ever gonna want to do it. Like that's the last thing they'll ever want to do.
Yeah.
Like they don't ever want to be in a fight.
Yeah.
But just the idea of being able to, but being controlled in yourself and knowing how to control those desires and whatnot. So
what I
it's
think
just
is funny
fascinating.
is like our coach Nate, right? Like he's going to the Worlds next week,
yeah.
and he's working on some different moves, and this guy could like take my shoulder out of joint, you know. He's like the mouse, and I'm like the mouse, and he's like the cat, right?
Yeah,
That's exactly what it
totally.
is. and he doesn't do it, and he lets me work it out, and at the end of it, he's like, "Good job, man." And I'm like, "I don't feel
Didn't
like
do
I did
anything.
a good job,"
Yeah.
you know, like.
Yeah.
But there's a humble quality in this. It's funny how submission and jujitsu go well together with submission and faith,
Yeah. Yeah.
because you have to be humble.
Yeah.
So it's great that we met there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jesus loves humility. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, hey, Trevor, I appreciate you joining us this morning.
Yeah.
Amazing story, and I wish you nothing but the best with it. I'm definitely going to stay tuned and stay in touch with you now that I know
Yeah.
who you are and met you. And I'm just, hey, stay authentic, man. I think you're doing an amazing thing. Keep looking to God, and I mean that's incredible. But thanks for being here, and
of course.
and I'm sure as this grows, we might have to have you back to get an update.
Get an update.
and see where we're at, because I mean, God's got great plans.
I
So
like it. Maybe we'll get our pastor out next time or something.
That'd be
You
cool.
guys can pick
Yeah.
his brain.
yeah, so awesome. Thank you, Trevor.
Cool. Thanks, guys.
Yep.